The Nubian community has for the longest been stateless, as over 100,000 of them lack proper documentation to be regarded as Kenyans. Shafi Ali Hussein is a member of the Nubian community. He's also the director of the Nubian Rights Forum and has been an advocate for the rights of Nubians.
Jamii ya Wanubi walikuwa subject to British colony. Serikali ya Uingereza wakati inapopigana na Wajerumani so that it can colonize Kenya. The Nubians, our ancestral, were the army by that time. If you have ever heard of King's African Rifles. So Wanubi ndio walikuwa wengi ndani yake. Wametolewa area ya Chad, area ya Egypt na Sudan. Wakaingizwa Kenya, that is around 18 something. So wakaja, when they reach the country, some of them has remained at Busia, some of them at Bungoma. You will get Nubians at Kisii, some of them at Rift Valley, Eldama Ravine, na Kibra, wherever we are right now, is the Nubian headquarters. And then you go down to Mombasa, you will find Nubians at Mazeras. So all those were villages given to Nubians by the British colony. So Kibra, the way you see Kibra as a history, is the headquarters of Nubian and it has its history. Kibra means forest by then. Wazee walipewa kama ni msitu, walifieka wenyewe. So wakati walipofieka, there is history here because kuna jeshi hapa. If you see Line Saba ni jina ya Kinubi, means ile pahali wanajeshi wanapiga range. So it was Line Saba. And if you go to Mbagathi Primary School and Mbagathi District Hospital, by then when I was still schooling, there was kuna hizo manyumba za mabati. It was Bula camp. Ilikuwa camp ya jeshi. Wherever we are, going down about 150 meters, kuna nyumba kubwa. That is, it was an officer's mess by that time. So Kibra specifically was 4,197 acres given to our ancestors. I am talking right now as a 6th generation.
Because of their ethnic and religious origins, the Nubian community is forced to undergo through a lengthy and humiliating vetting process in order to obtain required documentation essential for everyday life.
Census report inatuambia Nubians are around 5,000 in the whole country. But we are challenging that figure simply because there was a time last six years tumefanya census. If you compare that time with this time, kwani Wanubi wazai. And then there's other problem, this lack of documentation. It has forced the Nubians in Kibgori, the Nubians in Kisumu at large. Imebidi watumie jina ya, they must use a Luo name adding to their name so that wapate ID. That is the problem with Nubians in Meru, you see. So you must use a Meru name so that you can get an ID. So shida ya documentation kwa jamii ya Wanubi imeanza when is the bomb blast? Just immediately after the bomb blast. That is when the problem started.
According to Shafi, the government of Kenya has never accepted Nubians in the ancestral homeland of Kenya, but has quickly regarded them as squatters on government land.
After bomb blast, mambo imegeukia Wanubi. Nubians now are being treated like a second-class citizen. Nubians have been profiled as security threat. Nubians have been subjected to vetting, which is complete illegal. The Constitution has put it very clearly in chapter 3. What you're supposed to have when you reach 18 years, but that does not go with Nubians children. Nubian children, they come with extra things. You can be, sometimes you can be even asked a title deed. People who are landless, people who are not getting their documents, but in vetting they'll be told a title deed yenu iko wapi. We went to court sometimes back. I remember the late Justice Aganyanya asking our lawyer, who are those Nubians? People who are, according to census, are around 25,000. Aganyanya is telling our lawyer, go and give me an evidence of 100,000 signatures, And he has everything. We put it before him. When he goes through it, we are about 25,000. You see? So that is impunity, and that is how we are surviving up to now. 1963, when Kenya got its independence and the government is in place, so mambo ya corruption imeanza. The whole of this Kibra imenyakuliwa na serikali. If you go to Mumias right now, they had 8 acres by then in town, and most of the Nubians will find them in urban. Mumias is closer to town, so the county government wachanyang'anya 2 acres, imebaki 6. And I have advised my lawyer to take action ili Wanubio secure that 6. So here in Kibra, when Raila and Ruto came in, this office, which I had, we demonstrated until government to give us the tenure of Kibra land. Uhuru, thanks to him, ametupatia is it 6% of 4,000? That is 288 acres. Ametupatia, we have the title. If you go to Mombasa, go to Eldama Ravine, wako na allotment letters, but it has expired long ago, even Kisii. So Nubians in Isiolo, Nubians in Meru have been totally displaced.
Malasin Hamida Twahir, who is also born and raised in Kibra constituency, is also from the Nubian community. She's also on the race to become the next member of parliament for Kibra constituency. Hamida believes that the Nubian community has been discriminated against, and the local politicians and government at large have done little to end discrimination.
Well, the role of a member of parliament is basically representation. And with the representation, that is what the Nubian community actually require. Because the last time we had a member of parliament, that was in 1969. From that time we never had any other, except now Malasin Hamida is coming up. So that is what the people of Kibra require, and especially the Nubians, who are the minority in Nairobi County, and even in Kibra constituency itself, Nubians are the minority. Well, we have been on the advocacy and lobbying systems for the Nubian community since it's now almost 15 years. And what we've done a lot of advocacy. We actually took a case in Gambia, and that is the Committee of Experts on the Rights and the Child Welfare Court in Gambia, and a ruling has been made. There are several recommendations that have been proposed by the court on what the government should do. Actually, one, as a legislature, of which I will be in parliament to do this in parliament, to actually advise the government and actually to see on the legislative framework that there is a delink of acquisition of national ID from the determination of actually citizenship, because that is the one of the most challenging thing to the Nubian child, because basically, if at all, the national identity card is the determination of citizenship. It means if the child does not acquire an ID card, it means it deems them not citizens. And there is also one thing, there has to be on legislative framework the link of acquisition of national ID from the terrorism policy, whereby there must be a repeal of Section 23 of the Security Law Amendment of 2014, because that one is the sole challenge. Acquisition of document should not be the caveat for the Nubian child to be seen as a citizen, because the Nubian children are born in Kenya and you acquire citizenship right from birth.
They're calling us enemies sometimes, but we don't mind. Kwa sababu we are enemies, they cannot arrest us because all what we are doing is in line with the constitution. So wanatu arrest kwa kutuweka tu kwa police cell, but they cannot take us to court. The reason why, they know they don't have a base to arrest us.
With elections just a few days away, the big question remains, who is to blame for their lack of recognition? And as Shafi and Hamida keep fighting the same fight every year, they are hopeful that the big fight shall come to an end. For Havana TV, I'm Saza Munga.